when I came to the city, I didn't know where I was going to be, but I wanted something that was easy to park and maneuver. I'm a big city person, so I knew I was going to be maneuvering tight streets and small little parking lots. And the great thing about this has like an 8-foot wheelbase, so I can turn on a dime. Honestly, when you're sitting above the tires, it feels like you're just pivoting. Like it just feels like you're rotating on top of the vehicle. It's so bizarre.
This is Patrick with New Jersey's Outdoor Adventures YouTube channel. I'm up here in Brooklyn at Brooklyn Campervans for their block party. Look at all the vans. Well, I met up with Caleb. He has a really cool Isuzu imported motorhome from Japan that he lives in full time, and he's gonna give us a tour. So join us.
Hey, what's up, Patrick? My name's Caleb. This is my 1995 Isuzu Outback Express. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about this and who I am and how I got this thing, where I come from, and a little bit about it. So I'm an engineer by trade from Kansas originally, and I think a lot of people are feeling this, but I just was 5 years into my career, got a little tired of the corporate life. Was just kind of like at a loss of meaning in my life and wanted to change. And so I was just kind of shopping around. I started looking into van life, you know, like everyone around COVID and a little bit before COVID, I was just looking on the van trader websites. It was a little bit of a dream at first, but slowly I started to think of it as like, I could actually do this. And so I had a house in Kansas again, and was working my corporate job. And one day I was just like, all right, I'm done. And I quit my job. Was just looking for a couple months after I quit, looking for the perfect van, and I saw this thing on Van Trader on an app, and I ended up I was like the next day I flew out to North Carolina from Kansas, picked it up, and I spent the next 6 months, I drove it right back to Kansas and spent the next 6 months renovating it. So I can tell you a little bit about the outside. So yeah, it's all fiberglass body. What you're looking at here, we got a lot of outdoor storage. We got a swing door, screen door. So this is the entrance. It's kind of nice because a lot of vans, the entrance is on the back, or you have to climb over stuff. But it's nice here. Right here, behind here, this is where originally the vent for the fridge was. Now I've turned it into, I put an AC unit inside, just a traditional window unit, and it needed some extra venting. So I added a hole, and you might be wondering kind of what this is. It just needed some extra ventilation, so I threw some fans in there to really expel the heat that the AC was putting out, and it works pretty well for me. I'll show you a little bit about that as well. One of the big troubles that I had when I first got this thing, surprisingly, it had really old tires on it, and I could not for the life of me find the size of tire that I needed. I think they originally were 15.5-inch tires. It was something metric, but it came approximately out to 15.5. Those don't exist in America. So I scrounged around online. I was on Japanese eBay, looking everywhere I could, like just deep in Reddit forums, trying to figure out where I can get tires. And what I ended up finding out was I can't get tires because they have to be DOT stamp approved to even import them. So even if I want to buy them from Japan, not possible. So I ended up actually fabricating my own wheels. So the wheels are 17-inch now. They're off at F250. I took them to a welder and ended up 3D printing a jig so that I could clamp on and drill my own lug nut pattern. And it matched the Ford's, except there was 2 extra holes, so I just had to close those up, and it's almost spot on. So I'm an engineer by trade, so it was kind of nice to be able to figure all that out. But it was a big trouble. Yeah, up here we got the awning, so on a nice camping trip, you can pull that out and kind of chill underside. Up here, I got 420 watts of solar, so 210 watt solar panels, and I did I'll show you more inside, but I redid the whole electrical system when I got it, because I think it came with a 50 watt. Here, I'll show you, this is the water fill. So I have, in this bay, I have a 35-gallon water tank. It's fully insulated. I added heating pads, so it's fully good in the winter. The propane tank is also in that bay. Coming around this way, on the front, I was actually able to find, I didn't have to fabricate those. Those are actually from Germany. So they're 16-inch wheels. So it's kind of funny. It has the camper has a little bit of a forward stance because the back is 17-inch and the front are 16-inch. It's a little funny. Coming around this way, These mirrors fold in, so there's a button on the inside when I want to, you know, if I parked, I'm worried about someone hitting my mirror, they'll fold all the way in, motorized, which is pretty cool. Yeah, not much to see up front, except you may notice that this is a cab over design. The engine is basically right where you sit. Like the engine's right here, so you can open this up, and there's a panel on the other side. You open it up from the inside, and you have access to all the internal engine components. So it's a little tricky to do work on the engine just because of the access, but it's not too bad. So yeah, it's right-hand drive, of course, being imported from Japan. I like it that it still has like the service records from Japan. It's got just like the shop where they did the maintenance and all that. It's kind of cool. Again, on the outside, we got more storage. So this is where I keep like my hose. I have like my wrenches, anything that I need for like roadside assistance in there, oil, extra stuff like that. It's actually pretty big, so it's nice to have that external storage. This right here is actually where I have to fill the gas tank. So there's a lock on it. I guess maybe they were worried about people siphoning diesel. It's expensive these days, you know. In 1995, I feel like it wouldn't have been as big of an issue, but yeah, that's where you fill. This is something I added. I retrofitted, and it's not super clean. I'd love to clean it up, but it works for me. This is my instant hot water heater, so runs on propane. So it provides instant hot water, and I can control the temperature to like exactly the temperature that I want. And I can kind of show that inside. Yeah, so again, this is the model, Outback Express. Honestly, if you Google that, you might get a few hits, but it's pretty rare. I haven't seen another one of this exact model in the US yet. They're out there, but I'm not sure how many there are. Outdoor shower, so if I unlock that, you got a hose. No way to, you know, you got to be out in the woods right now, but it is what it is. Inside, you'll see in the bathroom, this is the Thetford cassette toilet. It's pretty cool because 1995, these things haven't changed in, I don't know, 30 years. These are like, I can buy this exact same model of cassette toilet and replace it as it is right now, which is pretty neat. Yeah, on the back, so I got a ladder, I can climb up on top. One thing that I'd like to add down the road is some storage, because there's a lot of real estate. Originally there was a storage rack, but it was leaking, so I took that all off, and I just have yet to put on another one. But there's a lot of real estate up there, so I either want to put like another 800 watts of solar or another storage rack. Here I got a 30 amp plug, so this is where I get my shore power if I'm at a campsite or where I park in Park Slope. This is the original backup camera from Mitsubishi. On the inside, I have a little black and white CCTV screen. It's pretty awesome, but it works great, and I can actually see where I'm backing up. So they were the original backup, like 20 years before the backup cameras came to America. I feel like they were way ahead of the game. So yeah, sewer hose. I've never used this. I guess it's so you can hook up to a huge sewer line, but I haven't had to use that the way I use it. And yeah, let's go ahead and take a look inside. Here in the entrance, I got my kitchen, a little bit of storage under here. This is the bathroom, shower, full situation, Thetford, as I showed you on the outside. This is where I keep my shirts, clothes, stuff like that. This is my fridge, 12-volt fridge freezer combo. I got, of course, my ever important monitor and Xbox setup. This is where I keep my clothes, but it's just another bench, more seating, so I can actually have people over if I want. And then over here, we got the cab over bed. So this can actually like lift up and out of the way if I need to. And it's really not too hard to get up there, at least for me. I have these curtains that can close if necessary. And then on this side, got another bench. This is a fold out bed, so I can have more people sleep here if needed. We got the microwave. This is where I do almost all my cooking. And then I got my AC unit down there. A little bit extra, more kind of like shoe size storage. All right, so now that you kind of have the lay of the land, I'm just gonna go into a few more details here. So a lot of this was kind of redone when I got it. I redid kind of the countertops, but this, I tried to also to just like keep as much things as original as possible. So this is the original propane burner stove, as you can see, still like the Japanese branding. I think it's an American company, but like it's crazy how many components in here are pretty much the exact same as like you can find over here and have been in the industry for 30 years. Up here, it's kind of cool. I can monitor my battery and water levels. This still works because when I redid my electrical system, I tied into the existing electrical system as well. So I didn't tear everything out. So you can see here, my battery charge is good. Right now I don't have any water in the tanks, but when my holding tank gets full, I can see that I'm nearing full, so I know when I need to dump it. Got a few like holders for spices. I don't really cook, so that's never been used. That was there when I bought it. Here I got some, it's a nice window, so if I want to let in some sunlight, again, I kind of stay parked in Park Slope, so I just use this for privacy and just kind of like keep it there. I really should get a curtain. Up here I got an exhaust fan for cooking, and I just have that plug just to kind of keep things, if you're cooling and heating a space, you want to keep it as efficient as possible, so I just put some like shirts and towels up there. Coming this way, this is a regular window AC unit that I installed retroactively. So again, the fridge used to be here, and it's not real clean, I know, but it's more about functionality for me. So I built this just kind of like custom thing to duct the cold air that was coming out. Inside, I installed fans again, so you can hear that. Maybe it's expelling the hot air to the outside, those vents that you saw. And then on really hot days, when I run the AC, I'll just run this straight to my bed, and then I'll close the curtains, so it's blowing cool air right on my face, which keeps it definitely manageable. I've been living in this for 2 summers now, and I've never had a problem. I have these roll-down roller shades, so again, it's kind of, you don't always want prying eyes, especially if you're like parked in the street in Brooklyn, so it's nice to just be able to quickly pull that down when I need it to be dark. And these are blackout shades, so it keeps it pretty nice in here. Now I can show you this bed, how this works. This will fold out and spin all the way out, and there's no support on here, so I still haven't really figured that out. In here is where I redid my battery system, so it's kind of gets a little Velcro-y. So it's not super clean, but I know what everything does, so I guess that's all that matters, right? So in here I have 300 amp hours LiFePO 4 lithium phosphate battery. I have a 40 amp solar charge controller from Renogy, 3000 watt Renogy inverter. What else? I got my battery monitor here, so you can see I'm getting some solar in right now. Pretty cool. This is how I turn on my inverter, so I want to run 110. I got that there. Here I got, charger, 12 volt, USB-C, USB-A, and over there more plugs. The flooring was originally all carpet. The people that I bought it from, they imported it, and then they did a lot of renovations before I even got a hold of it. So they installed this vinyl plank flooring, which is, it's good. It's nice because it's pretty weatherproof and it doesn't get too beat up. It's easy to clean, which is nice. And here I got this is kind of cool. It's just like a secret storage compartment. I keep a lot of like my shoes and like clothes that I don't really wear, but I haven't had the guts to get rid of yet in there. So that's kind of neat. Over here I got my bench seat again. This opens up so I keep, just kind of like my more clothes. This is a 12 volt fan. So again, if it's like not super hot, and if it's like 75 and I don't want to take the power to run my AC, I'll just duct this to my bed and I can, that's usually good enough for me. Up here, I got lights. This is solar coming in. These are just like fabric blackout cloths that I put. So there's windows on all the sides, but it's just like so much light coming in, and I'm usually still sleeping when the sun comes up. So yeah, I made those to just kind of keep the light going in. Here I got 12 volt max air fan. This is original. Again, same size cutouts. You can still buy these in the United States. Everyone, if you're familiar with van life, you'll know max air. Here I got my 12 volt fridge freezer. So the fridge is smaller than the freezer side, which it's fine for me because I eat a lot of like the healthy choice frozen meals. So I eat a lot of frozen stuff and just microwave it, which is good for me. I don't really eat a ton of like fresh stuff. And so yeah, it's perfectly fine size for me. Over here, And actually under the fridge, I have a whole hydronic heating system. So here I can show, you can see my Xbox there, but I wanted to explain what this is. So this holds coolant that is actually circulated through my hydronic system, which is under here. So if I took off my fridge, right here, there's an access panel. There's a bunch of tubing in there, and the coolant, it's basically just water that doesn't freeze, antifreeze. It flows through, and when on cold nights, it provides hot air, but it also provides my hot water, and it also can preheat my engine. So this is an older vehicle, and originally I was like, I love to ski, and I wanted to take it, around the Northeast. And on diesel engines, cold starting can be kind of tough on it. So I was like, I'm already installing this hydronic heater. So I tied into the coolant loop in the engine so that when I run my heater, I can actually preheat the engine up, which helps, just keep that wear and tear. You got to take care of the engine. So yeah, just for reference, you can see here I'm 5'9". I got a good 5 or 6 inches of space above me. So it's about, I'd say probably like 6'2". It kind of slopes upward, but it's plenty high for me. Width, we're talking about 7 feet wide. It feels a lot wider than like a lot of the vans I've been in. It's nice, I just love the openness. Where I park, my parking spot, it easily fits where a car can park, and it's got a tight turning radius, so it's so easy to navigate in the city. Up here, again, I mentioned my hydronic heating system. So in the winter, I can just turn it on. You just heard it turn on. So when I want to heat, I can set the temperature here. This is kind of so it's an S-bar heating unit, but this is a thermostat that I use to actually control when it turns on and off automatically. This is my kind of control panel for the coolant loop. So when I want to send the hot water to my engine, I can flip a switch here and change a pump and re-divert. Like I have electrical, basically diverters that will change where the hot water goes, because I don't want to be wasting, energy heating up water that's not going to be used. Yeah, that's pretty much it. This is like my LED light switch. So you can kind of see those above, just kind of some downlighting. Most of the time I don't use the overhead lights because I just like just kind of the lighter LED, warmer lighting. In here, yeah, let's go check out the bathroom. So Thetford cassette toilet. It's actually a pretty. I'll step in just for reference. There's a decent amount of space in here. Like I can take a comfortable shower here. I got my shower hose. Again, I can control the temperature to any temperature I want, so I can set it to 102 degrees if I want. Got a shower light. Again, this is a Thetford cassette, so it's it's comfortable. I like this system. It's easy to clean. It's very standard in the RV industry. And here we got a nice little ventilation window. Sometimes that's important. Fan up here, so when I need to run, get some of that air out, that's good. This is all fiberglass. Again, it's just a fiberglass shell, which is really great. I've never had any leaks in this entire camper since I've had it. So the fiberglass is really nice. I think it lasts a long time, and it still looks new. Thanks so much for having me, Patrick. It's been a blast to kind of show you my home and the lifestyle. It's been great for me. I've been living in this thing for 2 years. Wouldn't have it any other way. Saved me a ton of money in rent. It's been nice to be able to take weekend trips out and actually travel in my home, even though I use it more as an actual home. I find it comfortable, and yeah, again, just thanks for having me on. And if you have interest in, this lifestyle and this van, I would just say it's totally possible. Take that step, do it, jump in, start looking on vantrader.com. That's where I found this thing. You'll be inspired, and yeah, I hope that you take that chance. It's a great way to live.
Caleb, thank you very much for taking the time today to give us a tour of your awesome van. I would call this a van, but it's a mini RV. Yeah, really, yeah. And in the Japanese market, I've seen about a dozen different manufacturers different chassis, Toyota, Nissan, Isuzu,
Yeah.
and a lot of them, the layouts are similar. So I think when this was new, this would have been like a booth dinette over here.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
And that folded into a bed.
Uh-huh.
And then this was boxed in for a sofa.
Yep.
A bed. So, I mean, this thing could have possibly sleep 5 or 6 people, right?
Yeah, no.
Crazy. And
Yeah, that's, I think they like marketed it as like 6 people.
6 people. And 19-foot RV, mini RV.
Yep.
And people are going to ask, like, miles per gallon, what's the durability of, like, the Isuzu? I know you have a whole bunch of spare parts just in case, right?
Yeah, I do. Yep. I got them actually up in this. That's why I didn't want to get into all that, but I got all my spare parts, any belts, stuff I would need up there.
So there's so people like investigating this lifestyle with an imported RV, there's certain parts you want to have on hand, like fuel pump, fuel filters, oil filter, you know, stuff you're going to need, consumables, things that commonly could break. That way you're not stranded for a week or so until you could buy the parts, right?
Exactly.
Smart.
Yeah, plan ahead. Yeah.
Plan ahead.
Yeah, it can take a couple months to get the parts you need from Japan. So yeah, just, you know, and it's not hard. Just, you know, you got to do some research, find the parts that are going to wear out more, brake pads, things like that. You're going to have to change them eventually. Get them ahead of time, have them on hand. Yeah, definitely a good tip.
Well, this is Patrick with New Jersey's Outdoor Adventures YouTube channel. Thanks for joining us.